Hey everyone, and welcome back to the TalkBox English podcast, the place for simple, natural conversations to help you learn real English. I'm Alex Carter.
And I'm Sarah Johnson. It's so good to be here. How are you doing today, Alex?
I'm doing pretty good, Sarah. A little tired, actually. I had a big meeting this morning at work. I was trying to convince my team to use a new project software.
Oh no, how did it go? Were you persuasive? That can be so tough.
Well, let's just say it was a learning experience. I talked and talked about all the technical features, but I'm not sure if I really persuaded anyone. It felt like they were just listening politely.
Oh, I know that feeling. You have all the right information, but the message just doesn't land. It happens to everyone. I was reading this article that said almost all business communication is really persuasive communication. It's not just for salespeople. Every time we give an update, make a suggestion, or even ask for help, we're trying to persuade someone to see things our way.
Really? So even my meeting this morning was a kind of persuasive speech?
Exactly. The goal is to move people from one point to another, from not knowing about your idea to supporting it, from being confused to understanding. So, what do you think went wrong in your meeting?
Hmm. I think I just listed facts. This software is fast. It has good security. It is not expensive. But it was dry, boring. I didn't make it for them.
You just hit on the first big rule: know your audience. The best communicators think about who they are talking to first. Is it your manager, your team? What do they care about? For a manager, they might care about saving money. For your team, they care about saving time and making their daily work easier.
Oh, that's smart. So instead of saying it improves compliance, I should say it will help you finish your reports in half the time so you can go home earlier. I'm selling the benefit to them.
Yes, you're selling the ask. Connect your idea directly to what your listeners want or need. It's human nature to pay more attention when something is about us.
Okay, so step one, think about your audience. Step two, connect your idea to their life. Got it. But what about how you actually talk? I sometimes get nervous and talk too fast, or I use very complicated words to sound smart.
We all do that. But here's the secret: clarity is more powerful than complexity. Using simple, clear words is actually more persuasive. If people are confused, they will not agree with you. You should be clear and concise.
So instead of saying we need to leverage this platform to optimize our synergistic workflows, I should just say this tool will help our team work better together.
Perfect. That's so much better. And you know what helps with being clear? Using stories.
Stories? Like once upon a time there was a software?
Not fairy tales, but real, short stories. People remember stories much better than lists of facts. Did you have a problem last month that this new software could have solved? Tell that story. Remember when we lost the client document and everyone was stressed for 2 days? This new software automatically saves every version, so that will never happen again. See? The story creates an emotional connection.
That makes so much sense. A story turns an abstract idea into something real people can feel and remember. It's not just a feature, it's a solution to our pain.
Exactly. And when you tell a story, your body language and voice change naturally. You become more relaxed, more like yourself. And that's another huge key. Let your personality come through. Don't try to be a formal, robotic presenter. Be Alex. People trust real people.
Okay, so be myself, tell a story, be clear. But what about at the end? I always feel awkward. I just say, so yeah, any questions? And then it's quiet.
Ah, the classic week ending. You need a strong call to action. Don't be shy. Directly and politely tell them what should happen next. It shows respect for their time.
Can you give me an example?
Sure, a week ending is: thank you for listening. Please email me if you have thoughts. That's too vague. A strong, persuasive ending is: I recommend we try this software for 1 month. Please give me your yes or any concerns by this Friday so we can move forward. It's clear, polite, and tells them exactly what you want.
By Friday. I like that. It's specific. So it's like I'm guiding them to the next step.
You're guiding them, yes. And part of guiding is listening, active listening. Persuasion isn't just talking at people, it's a conversation. Ask them questions. What part of your current workflow is most frustrating? Listen to their answer. Then your idea becomes the answer to their problem.
That's a game changer. It's not me versus them, it's me with them, solving a problem together.
That's the best mindset. Now, for our listeners who are learning English, this might feel like a lot. How can I be persuasive if I'm still worried about my grammar?
That's a great point. I think the most important thing is to not let the fear of small mistakes stop you. People will understand you even if you say he walked to school instead of he walks to school. Your clear idea and passion are more important.
Absolutely. But knowing a few common mistakes can help you feel more confident. For example, many learners say, I'm agree. But agree is the verb, so just say, I agree. Or instead of using very all the time, very good, very hot, try using stronger words like excellent or boiling.
Good tips. And if you're preparing for something important, practice out loud. You can even record yourself on your phone. It feels funny, but you will hear where you can slow down or speak more clearly.
Yes, practice and prepare. It's the best way to fight nervousness. Even native speakers get nervous. The adrenaline can actually make you more alert and ready.
So, to summarize for everyone, to speak persuasively in English at work. First, know your audience and connect your idea to their needs. Second, be clear and concise. Use simple words. Third, use a short story to make your point memorable and emotional. Fourth, be yourself. Let your personality and passion show. Fifth, end with a clear, polite call to action. Tell them what to do next. And always, always listen actively to the people you are talking to.
Beautiful summary, Alex. And remember, good communication is never perfect. The goal is connection, not perfection. Just try one of these tips in your next small conversation.
I feel better about my next meeting already. Maybe I'll start with a story about the great coffee I had this morning to persuade them to be in a good mood.
See, you're already thinking like a persuader. Thanks for talking with me today, Alex.
Thanks, Sarah, and thank you for listening to the TalkBox English podcast. Remember, keep practicing, keep speaking, and we'll see you next time.